A former League of Legends world champion has been sentenced to a significant amount of prison time for drug trafficking. 10 years ago, he lifted the Summoner's Cup, and now his story has taken one of the biggest left turns we've ever seen in esports. Do you know what time of the year it is? If you said it's approaching the holiday season, then you've been spending too much time outside because it's actually merch season. If you need a reminder to touch grass, then check out our Touch Grass hoodie from our brand new merch line. It's just one of a bunch of cool items we brought out this year. The perfect gift for anyone, even yourself. My God, they are warm, and they're coming out in new colors as well very soon too. The link to check it all out is in the description box below. So I'll start this off by saying Toys was kind of a hero of mine back in the day. He was a part of the legendary Taipei Assassins, the Taiwanese team that shocked League of Legends fans by winning Season 2 Worlds. They beat Korean powerhouse Azubu Frost in the finals in a convincing 3-1 victory and took home the $1 million in prize money.
Your Season 2 World Champions, the Taipei Assassins!
Those players became legends of the game. Bebe, Stanley, Lil Balls, Mistake, and their star mid laner, Toys. I used to watch him play Twisted Fate a lot back in the day too. Some of you guys watching might not have even been playing back then and seen all of this, but trust me, the guy was f***ing sick. Toys remained in the scene for 7 more years, as a player, as a coach, even owning a team at one point, but he never quite reached the heights of lifting the Summoner's Cup again. The last thing that many heard from him in the league scene was his departure from G-Rex Gaming in 2019, an org he helped found 3 years earlier. Then he put a lot more time into his YouTube channel, shifting his content from League to food reactions and gaining over 700,000 subscribers on his main channel along the way. Things seemed to be going well for Toys in his retirement from League until September 2021. News broke that Toys had been arrested by police in the central Taiwanese city of Taichung on suspicion of trafficking cannabis. Now, a lot of you guys watching might be from Western countries where cannabis might be legal, illegal, decriminalized, or approved for medical use. Well, things are pretty strict in Taiwan, where cannabis is a Class 2 illegal drug. That means that being caught manufacturing, transporting, or selling it can result in life imprisonment or a minimum 10-year fixed term imprisonment, as well as being fined up to 15 million new Taiwan dollars. That's about $500,000 US. Now, the actual sentences tend to be a lot less than that, of course, but the maximum sentences show that Taiwan takes this seriously. Taichung's chief prosecutor said that a warrant had been issued for Toys' arrest after cannabis was found in his home, and authorities believed he had the intention to sell. According to Invent Global, Toys was specifically accused of forming a drug syndicate with friends back in late 2019. Their product of choice was said to be 200 THC pods which they sold over the internet. Reports said they were caught by police who were posing as potential customers, and that Toys was arrested with 7 of his associates. Now, it's not uncommon in Taiwan for prosecutors to go slightly easier on someone in Toys' situation under certain circumstances. In 2020, defense lawyer Li Hui-Chu told the Taipei Times that, quote, "For people with no prior convictions and who are first-time offenders on a cannabis charge, the courts are generally deferring prosecution for drug rehabilitation or offering no indictment in exchange for evaluating the client's abstinence after undergoing a successful drug rehabilitation." And it appears that's exactly what Toys did after he was let out on bail. He went into rehab. I think it would be a bit unfair to assume that that was only to get a lighter sentence, but as we just heard, it can only help. But it sounds like it didn't go too well. According to reports, the Taichung District Prosecutor's Office found a drug reaction in Toys' hair when he first entered the rehab center. Hair drug testing is one of a number of ways that a rehab center might screen someone as they enter, and it's said to be more effective than urine tests. So, in terms of showing you're on the right track and that you've left the drug world behind you, it doesn't really get much worse than testing positive as you try to enter rehab. In June of this year, Taiwan's Central News Agency reported that Toys had pled guilty to all drug trafficking charges. His lawyer asked the court to take Toys' unfamiliarity with Taiwanese laws into account recount during the sentencing, as he is said to travel frequently between Taiwan and Hong Kong. Toys apologized, urged the public to stay clear of drugs, and said in a statement that he was under pressure after coming out of a rehabilitation center. Last month, he explained in a stream highlights video what the rehab center was like. Now, according to Inmen Global, it included living in a cramped 4-person room, needing sedatives at night, and putting up with other people's body odor. He also discussed what it was like to be alongside others who had withdrawal symptoms, as well as dealing with his own panic attacks in the treatment center. Now, by this point, the story had been going on in some form or another for about 3 years. All that was left now was the sentencing, and that came last week. Yahoo News Hong Kong reportedly announced that Toys have been sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in prison for drug trafficking. It's been said that according to Toys' lawyer, Toys didn't appear in court and also expected a lighter sentence. Now, Toys does still have the chance to appeal his case, but as it stands right now at the time of recording, he could be off to prison until 2027. I imagine this is pretty shocking for fans of Toys. He is a prolific streamer and content creator with a sizable fan base in Taiwan. But it's also shocking for the League community. This guy has his name etched forever into the history book as part of only the second group of players to ever win Worlds. And to be honest, in my opinion, Season 1 doesn't really count in a lot of ways. Season 2 felt like the start of the beginning of the scene as we know it, and for a brief period, Toys was the face of that. League of Legends pros have never been squeaky clean across the board. We've had plenty of stories over the past 10 years of run-ins with the law. But I don't think there's anyone that's reached the heights that Toys has in League of Legends, who's then gone on to be sentenced to 4 years in prison. It's unprecedented. Like I said, there's always the appeal process, so this 3-year story might have another twist in it yet. I'll keep my eyes peeled. This guy who called himself Lil Balls did not expect people to be talking about him in 10 years. I have to seriously say this guy became a legend, and his name's Lil Balls. Yeah, it's really weird living in Canada where, you know, you can order cannabis from the government. Like, they're literally offering to sell it to you. Listen, if this all happened in Canada, this wouldn't be a story. It would just be called, you know, a Wednesday night.